Hello team, how you all doing? Today I'm going to present my project, the tenacious bench, a public evaluation benchmark for B2B outreach agents. It includes 200 tasks dataset with a trained public dev and sealed held out partitions and a mission verifiable scoring evaluation. In this workshop, I will show the published dataset, score one task into end, trace one habilitation result back to its held out artifact, and then show public blog post and community engagement artifact. Okay, now I'm opening the public Hugging Face dataset live here. Okay, as you can see, this is a real published dataset page. This is a tenacious bench public evaluation benchmark for B2B outreach agents. Let me scroll and walk you through it. Okay, here in the dataset viewer, there are three partitions that are visible. As you can see here, the training, the public development, and the sealed held out. The validation that is dev, and we can see it also in the terminal. I have put it output, as you can see. It is the train is 100 tasks, the public dev is 60, and the held out is 40. That gives you the name and the exact counts. Okay, let us continue. Let's go to the datasheet, the datasheet.md5. Okay, as you can see, when I scroll through, it shows the 7 required datasheet sections. The motivation explains why the benchmark exists. And the composition describes the task set and the structure. Collection process explains how tasks were altered. Pre-processing documents, filtering, and contamination checks uses describes intended and out-of-scope use. Distribution covers the release date details, including the license. Maintenance explains visioning and upkeep. And we can also see the license here. And also here, as you can see, this satisfies the metadata and license part of the dataset walkthrough. Okay, now I'm opening one task artifact, so the task level metadata is available in the data set here. As you can see here, the source mode field is shown on the screen. This documents how the task was created, such as traced derived programmatic multi-LLM synthesis and hand authored. As you can see, all the evidences here point to that. Okay. This completes the dataset through the public page, the 3 partitions, the datasheet, the 7 sections, the license, and the source mode. Okay, let us continue to end-to-end scoring. Okay, now I'm moving the published dataset to one concrete task being scored end-to-end. Okay, let me run this command right now. Okay. This is a concrete task input. As you can see, the task ID, the dimension, the source mode, and the difficulty in the actual company signal. The output is supposed to ground to, and the band phrases are visible also here. So the evaluation constraints are explicit before the scoring even starts. Okay, next, let's run the candidate output. Okay. Now let's run the candidate output. This is, as you can see, this is the exact candidate output that is being evaluated. And this shows separately, so the input and output are both visible before the evaluator runs. Now let me run the evaluator live, the scoring evaluator live. The result is a numeric score breakdown, which is one aggregate score. You can see the dimension by dimension scoring here, including signal grounding, tone alignment, CTA quality, bench fit accuracy, personalization depth, and the band phrase penalty, as you can see. Here is one specific evaluation check. The band phrase penalty is 0 for this output, and here the CTA related scoring is visible, as you can see, numerically rather than being described only in narration. So the evidence chain is visible, as you can see on the screen, the task input, the candidate output, the evaluator output, and the final numeric score. Okay, now let's go to... Okay. Now I'm showing one habilitation result with visible traceability back to the held out artifact. Okay, let me run this command. Okay. This top-level significance file contains a headline aggregate statistics. Here the delta B is visible as a mean lift of 0.332. The statistical treatment is also visible on screen. The confidence level interval, the p-level, the bootstrap count, and the number of held-out tasks. Let me run this command. Okay. Now I'm opening the intermediate habilitation result artifact. I'm showing this because the top-line result should be visibly backed by per task result structure, not only by a summary file. Let me run the second command. Now I'm opening one concrete held out trace row, task TB held 003, as you can see here. For this task, the score lift is plus 0.10. On the show, the trained score, the baseline score, and the per task lift are visible, as you can see. So the evidence chain is visible. A concrete held out task produces a per task lift. Those per task lifts appear in the habilitation result artifact, and the significance file reports the aggregate mean lift and statistical test over the full held out set. You can see here. every artifact is possible. I also want to name delta I explicitly. A smaller positive result, a null result, or a negative result would still count here as long as it is shown honestly. And this was my result. Now let me show you my first artifact live. Okay, let me show you. I posted it and Dave two. When I tried to post it in Hugging Face, I faced some problems and I posted it here, as you can see. Okay, as you can see, this was my Dave 2 post, and everything, every artifact what I faced is here. The scoring architecture, as you can see, what I got wrong, everything is here. Okay, next is my issue, my GitHub community engagement. This is the community engagement artifact, as you can see, and the title bench and the issue. You can find it. Thank you for this opportunity. This was the full evidence chain. I showed the public Hugging Face dataset live with partitions, the datasheet license, and the source model dataset. And I showed one habilitation result with statistical output and traced one numeric claim back to a concrete held out trace. And I showed both required public artifacts live at their public level. Thank you for this opportunity.